from these guys, but they're trending towards a better. He's not a bad guy. He's just not a point guard. I think he's fitted as a shooting guard. But yes, very young squad.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of young, my number 10 is very old. Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, number 10.
That's right. I'm not as big a fan of him as everyone else is.
That's a slap in the face, Canada style.
But if you see the other 9, maybe you won't agree. But he's. I won't get into his MVP stuff, because he's just.
Why is he overrated? I think you got to talk about this. Nash at 10.
Because for 50% of the game he plays no part, no defense, 0 defense.
Okay.
Since he's been in the league, and he's not clutch, which you kind of want in your point guard. Great passer, but he's over. Well, he's won 2 MVPs. That's overrated enough. I don't think he was ever the best point guard in the league.
Yeah, but
MVP.
Let's say he's not quite MVP. Wouldn't that put him top 5? Yeah.
5 years ago, certainly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right now,
he certainly lost some.
Right. Yeah.
Some
right now, he's just
old.
He was He ran a team, and they didn't make the playoffs. He might have been the best player on that team, but they didn't make the playoffs. So, and the rest of the 9, I think will legitimize him being 10, but. You're lucky he's on there at all, to be honest. I've never been a fan.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised to see it.
Right,
It's our prior conversation.
Right. I if he goes to the next school, but I don't think he will. He is a free agent, but I think his tie to New York was D'Antoni, who's gone.
Yeah.
So I don't think that happens. And if it does, it's a nice fit. Reunite with Stoudemire and then work with lessen Carmelo's ball handling, and you got a little something going there. But
still,
9,
he's a god in Phoenix, though.
He'll always be.
Yeah.
And he just recently got general manager duties of the Canadian soccer national team.
Ah.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
So maybe he doesn't come back to the league at all. Maybe he turns down that $12 million for the season wherever he won't. But his soccer talk is epic. He knows his soccer even for Canadian. He plays very good. He could play for the national team now. So So we 9, no tandem yet. Okay,
no tandem yet. No,
be a 10.
I got Calderon of Toronto at number 9.
And that I saw that, and that's surprising because no one knows who he is.
Yeah, right.
But so it proves we watch the NBA.
Yeah, he's been pretty steady. He's just kind of quietly does his job, and the team is not good. You could argue, can't carry him to the playoffs, but I don't think Toronto's getting a lot invested in it. And I like the way he plays. He does what a point guard ought to do. Distributes first.
He's one of the pure. Yeah. Make
So,
a jump shot.
Yeah. So he made number 9 on my list.
Well, I love them. I love them at UCLA. I love them in New Orleans, and now in Indiana. I think he's one of the main reasons they will extend that series to 6. Is Darren Collison for the Pacers. He, God bless him. He's 6 foot tall, but his arms reach to his feet. He's just so long, and if you watch him drive to the goal, he gets around people with that arm. Layups you think aren't even possible, and he clutch. When Chris Paul went down 2 seasons ago, he filled in and we didn't miss a beat. And a great distributor, great shooter, and what he does that a lot of guards or anyone in the NBA don't do, he defends, and that's big. That's really big, especially when no one else does it. So he's number 9, and I think in the next couple of years I'll have him higher because wonderful player.
Oh yeah. I remember very clearly the UCLA days and some of the New Orleans days. I haven't seen him play
him and
lately, but
him Westbrook were same backcourt together.
Yeah, and they're
in Final Four,
similar
both years. Yeah,
similar styles.
Yeah, Westbrook's bigger, but yeah. So we're to 8.
8. I got my first 2-headed monster here.
Yeah,
actually my only one.
I think that's where I have
Ty Lawson and Andre Miller.
Nice.
I might not have put them that high until I watched the Denver Lakers series, but something that struck me in Game 7, they asked George Karl before the game, what do you think Psycho Artest coming back is, that may not be how
Meta
I phrased
World
it.
War.
I'm paraphrasing. What do you think Artest coming back is going to change, the way you manage the game? And he said, well, we'll probably have fewer times where we got Lawson and Miller out on the court at the same time.
Right.
And that's going to suck, basically.
Right.
And my thinking was, well, who cares? We got a matchup issue. I don't think our test has a post-up game, so
he should. But
yeah.
Well, and it's the old and the new, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's old school, new school with those two,
and they both can pass, and it's kind of a rare thing to have 2 point guards that you can rely on. I think Lawson led the team in scoring this year.
Probably.
Yeah.
And he was a monster for the first half,
yeah.
I remember. And you have him 8, I have him 7, because
yeah.
I completely agree. The beauty of them is why they can play on the court at the same time is their contrasting styles. Miller is a bigger guard. He can post you up. He gets down low.
Oh, yeah.
And he's so fundamentally sound. And he's if there was a picture of a basketball player in a dictionary, it's this guy. Like, it really is. He never does anything that you're like, what the hell was that? Mm-hmm. And Lawson, you know, we have the toe story from the tournament days when he clearly wasn't hurt. But he's a speedster, but he's fearless, and he shoots from anywhere, and he shoots over you, and he's not a big guy. So that I totally agree that they're actually 7 on my list.
Yeah.
And I have a tandem at 8, which is Kyle Lowry and Goran Dragic, which we won't be able to keep them together here in Houston.
No, that's not happening.
But actually, Dragic is whatever is a free agent, but he's restricted, I think. Lowry we have in the contract, so
they can match an offer for Dragic.
Right,
that works.
But you know what? They're already paying Lowry a decent amount.
Right.
So I think what they're going to try to do is trade Lowry and pay him. But I think with Steve Nash leaving Phoenix, I think him going back there is probably that's more of a fit. I think that's what's going to end up happening, which sucks. But Lowry, I've always loved Kyle Lowry. Yeah. So and that was a tandem. They kind of kept that boat afloat here in Houston for the latter half of the season, and then when we lost Lowry, Dragic came in and filled in, but they just don't have enough around him.
Yeah, I think Dragic made himself a lot of money this year.
He did, a lot, no doubt.
With the fill in, and Lowry, I mean, kind of took over the role as top scorer,
right,
for a while there, when they were just it was by default, but
Kyle Lowry,
it was
college. What you got?
Oh crap! College. Let's see. I don't want too much dead air.
It was a 3-guard system.
3-guard system.
I think all 5 are actually.
So not the Big East.
That is.
Oh, it is the Big East.
Is the Big East.
Oh crap!
Yeah.
Syracuse?
No. You know, I've made you watch many of the games you played for. You know it was Syracuse.
Yeah, I suppose so. That's a good point.
I drop that all the time.
Let's see. Georgetown?
No. The same color scheme in the uniforms. Now you got it.
Seton Hall?
No. They all have the blue and it's more the gray and I think.
Gray and like Providence?
No.
They got a lot of schools with gray and black.
That's what I'm saying. They all have it, yeah.
All right, man, let me off the hook here.
Villanova.
All right.
It was the 3-guard. I think Sessions was one of the 3 guards.
Oh, really?
Ramon Sessions was, I think.
Why didn't they win more?
They did. They went to the Sweet 16, at least 8 that year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so no, they were a good team, but yeah. To tangent on, my favorite thing is where people went to college.
Yes, we'll hear more of that.
Yes, that's true.
So right.
You're 7.
Yeah, you should.
My 7 was the
Lawson Miller.
The Miller Lawson.
Yeah, I got Darren Williams at number 7, and maybe last year I would have had him higher, but for me, he took a step back this year.
Well, you go to New Jersey. New
Jersey kind of saps everyone's strength, whether you're just driving through or playing ball. But yeah,
right. Or you're the Toxic Avenger.
Right. Yeah, a lot of reasons to dislike New Jersey here, but yeah, you still gotta man up and play hard.
I think isn't he a free agent?
He is.
Okay, and I do have him 4, so I do have him a little higher. I've never been a huge fan, but he's a big body. Good shooter. He all around good basketball player. And I love him at
take charge mentality too.
Right. And I loved him in Illinois for more college stuff. Him and D Brown or D something who played in
Snyder. No,
it was a tandem guard. And but yeah, no, Darren's he's just bigger than.
He's a really big guy.
Yeah, he's bigger than the other guard.
Yeah.
But he uses that.
Yeah.
And so if you have him 7, I have him 4.
He's a heady player.
Right.
I just try to think of this list in terms of which guys do I want on my team. and I think he quit this year.
Right.
Which is a little strange for a free agent to do.
Well, I think he got right, but he knew he was getting paid regardless.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But he dropped a couple 50 bombs at later in the season.
50? Really?
I think so. He had some ridiculous game.
Damn.
Maybe not 50, but he stayed around. So we're
up to 6.
6 on. I don't even want to talk about my 6. I don't want to talk about your 6.
You don't want to talk about yours.
So both we're just washing. I don't want to talk about either. So your 6 is
Steve Nash
was my 10.
the much maligned Canadian.
Right, and we've gone over him enough. He's already won 2 MVPs, which is, hey man, I'd love to go hang out with him, have a beer with him, play soccer with him. But I don't right now. I don't want him as a point guard. And the same goes for this guy, who's number 6. It's Derrick Rose for me. It's kind of like the Troy Polamalu thing and the Steve Nash thing. I don't dislike these people, but I dislike their overratedness. And Derrick Rose is overrated. I'm sorry. MVP that soon on a team that won nothing. I mean, and he did. Notice they were still winning in the playoffs until Noah. He got hurt, but then Noah was the real injury that hurt them.
Yeah.
And during the season, they were like 15-6 without him, without Rose. But
he did get hurt a lot this year.
He did. Well, he's kind of like these other smaller players where they throw their bodies around.
Yeah.
And yeah, fearless. That's fine, but can't make a jump shot to save his life. Rondo's like, this guy can't make a jump shot. And
yet he shoots 20 of them a game.
And he does. And he shoots like Allen Iverson, who I also love. Well, I guess I don't love these other guys, but
you love him more than Derrick Rose.
Right. But he chucks and he plays above average defense. I don't think he gets enough credit for his defense. But he does shoot a lot for a point guard with so many other scoring options. I mean, they're a deep team. They really do have a lot of shooters. Maybe not scorers, but shooters. So open shots is what you're supposed to go for as a point guard. And I don't think he always does that. So he's 6 on my list.
He's
5 on yours.
5 on mine. That's a good segue there. Yeah. I mean, I don't like not just the shooting skills, which obviously need some work, from outside, but the shot choices that he's driving in on the entire team and saying, I'm the MVP, I'm going to make this one, and then clang.
Yeah,
and
no chance.
He's got a decent team around him. And
he does.
If he's going to play point, he's got to use them a little more. I think he's got the potential to be number 1 on this list in a few years.
Because the other ones are going to die, or
be out of the league, or be old, or
Right. Okay. Just clarifying.
He's got top point guard potential, but he, to me, does not have the mentality to be up there. Still, 5 ain't bad.
5, and 6 on mine, so he's clearly doing something right.
Yeah.
We don't want him pointing our team, but he could point Chicago because it's perfect.
Oh hell yeah!
Where the disaster.
Derek, what do you think about shooting 7 for 29 tonight? Oh, I think I played really well.
Exactly. And I think, now my 5 is your 4. And it's Tony Parker.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never liked this guy. It started with he's French.
Disclaimer.
That's it, right. And I'm French. I'm from New Orleans. We're all, my grandmother born in Nice, France. Like really French. But
good thing Napoleon was desperate.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for that.
I'm here. Thank you. But he's another one who can't make a jump shot. And
what?
He can now. He couldn't for a while.
Oh yeah, but he's working on it for 10 years.
No, he has, and no defense because he's got so much help with everyone else. And don't get me started on Ginobili. I can't stand Ginobili. He just flounders around, but it's a different list.
Top 11 flounders.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I have like 50. But
mark that one.
Right.
Sure,
That'd be an easy one. I could write that right now.
Yeah.
But he's having an MVP season. I have to be honest and say I've seen none of their games because, as I said earlier, I don't watch their games. It's painful. But it's no personal thing. The coach is hideous. Tim Duncan's hideous.
What do you mean he's hideous? He won NBA.
They're ugly as hell.
Oh, yeah, they're super
They're
ugly.
just hideous people. It's like, when do we step into the villain section of the Halloween costume
it's called
store?
It's called Clearasil.
It's right. It's like so bad. Look, Tim Duncan looks like he hadn't bathed in months.